Masters of the Universe fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible contributions from my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins heroic Guardian of Castle Grayskull herself, the one and only Sorceress. Now, technically, this is the second version of the Sorceress figure that we've gotten in the Origins line. The first one being as an exclusive figure with the release of the Origins Castle Grayskull, which I never did a review about because not a lot of people watch my Masters of the Universe reviews, and that one was going to be a bigger one, so I didn't want to set up the whole kitchen table thing to showcase that. But I'll bring in that white version of the Sorceress to do a comparison with this one. But this is the one that I was always really looking forward to because this is more her filmation look. And I love it. I think it looks terrific. Packaging wise, you have that really very standard look with the Masters of the Universe. There's Red Rock, although this now says it's new for 2020. And look, it's unpunched, but who cares? Because we're going to punch that out. And then, of course, you got the open blister right here with the little dimple that you know, you can put your finger in if you want. Come around to the back of the package and you see the other figures that are in this wave. You have gorgeous art up here with all sorts of different horde elements, which looks great. Seriously, I hope we get all of those figures. I just love the art that they do for this. Now, in this new wave, there's a couple figures I have no interest in. I have no interest in Jitsu or this version of Stratos, which I believe is the mini comic look for them. I've seen them. They are at my stores right now. I have no interest in picking up either of those. Although Jitsu's is kind of cool because he does have the vac metal arm. But Fisto was Jitsu's kind of rival. I don't really care too much about him. But I had to get Sorceress and Buzz Off. So those are the two that you're going to see me review. But for the packaging on her, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get her out here and see how cool she actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Sorceress open up and out of her packaging. And as always, she does come with her mini comic, this one being the Challenge of Jitsu, as well as the extra paper that shows the removable parts, such as her head, her arms, her torso, all that fun stuff. So you have that. And then the comic, you can see you have Jitsu, you have Buzz Off, you have Stratos right down there, and then you flip through. And it's, you know, it's a nice throwback to those original mini comics from the actual vintage line. This is a nice additional piece, and I love the fact that they're including these here with the origin figures. But for the Sorceress, as you can see, absolutely gorgeous looking. Very filmation accurate in terms of the coloring. For her accessories, she does come with her staff. Now this is just a white piece of plastic, but it has some nice sculpted in detail right there with the feathers and wings and things like that. But pretty much that's it. Now I'm going to bring in the one that we got with Castle Grayskull. And as you can see, these are identical. There's nothing different about these. Sculpt is the same, the color is the same, but what is different is obviously the figure. Now this is that Sorceress that we got with that Origins Classic, or not Classic, that Origins Castle Grayskull. And you can see that basically you have a white version of the Sorceress. Now, and I'm not entirely sure what this is in reference to be totally honest with you. I can't get her to stand. Let's see, come on, fiddle with the legs here a little bit. But you can see basically just a white version of what we have here. And while this is cool, this is still my preferred look for the character. For those of you that watch my videos, this is your first time seeing me show her off because I never reviewed that Grayskull. But you can see you have the wings and everything. I do kind of like how this has a frosted sort of look. It's a little bit yellowish. You can kind of see. I'd be curious if that kind of gets more yellow over time. But exact same sculpt is what we have going on. And this ankle is driving me nuts. She does not like standing there. But this is just a much more in tune with my wants of a Sorceress figure. You can see the wings again, but now these ones have been painted with this gorgeous orange that fades out to a little bit whiter of a bit right here, and then you get the blue section. I would imagine that this is, and on the inside here, it's all this orange color. I would imagine it's the same thing where it's translucent and then just kind of painted. But that looks super cool. I really do dig that. Great detail with the headdress and everything. You got that white section coming down here with the gorgeous paint for the eyes, the little beak section. Even right up here with her little, not a tiara, but like a little crown piece. You got gold on there. I mean, that's all there. The sculpt work is all identical. You just have a different color. I also kind of like the darker tone of the skin. You can see she's got a little bit more of a tan here. This kind of goes along with the more pale nature of the exclusive figure, I would imagine, but still really cool. Sculpt-wise is, as I was talking about, identical, even down to the fact that there's some sculpted in feather detail in her torso that is matched here. Again, the only difference really is some extra paint that highlights those sculpted in bits. One ugly bit is this. Now, you can pop her head off. Well, at least it says that you can't. There you go. You can pop that off. These bits here are kind of ugly. I mean, there's nothing really that you can do about it, but the giant screws right there are a little bit kind of meh. And then put her head back on there. It kind of hides it with her hair coming down there, so it's not too terribly bad, but it definitely is, if you're trying to articulate the head, it does kind of stand out, but it's not that big of a deal. But again, just preference-wise, while I like this one, and I was happy to have a sorceress in my collection for a time being, this is the one that I want to have displayed with my Origin figures. Articulation-wise, you can see that the head is on a ball joint, but you're not going to get a lot of range of motion because the hair kind of goes down and over the wing section here, so it kind of locks everything in place. You get a little bit of motion, but really not a lot. The shoulders here on those pin hinge joints, so you can move that forward and back, in and out, good range of motion with that. You do have the hinge at the elbow, wrist rotation, as well as a hinge. Come down to the waist, can rotate her right there. The hips move forward and back. They move in and out. Is that a ball joint? I think that's a ball joint. I can't really tell. You do have bends here at the knee, the ankles, or I'm sorry, not the ankles, but the knees do look a lot better than what some of the earlier figures had with the female characters. That doesn't have as ugly of a overhang. It's still kind of there, but it definitely looks better, I think. You do have a boot cut. You can pull the boot off, I think that's one of the removable points. Yeah, it says you can remove it, but it's really stiff on there. And then you do have the ankle tilt as well as the hacky sack pose. So all the articulation you would expect is there. In general, very, very happy with how this figure turned out. We all pretty much knew that we were going to be getting a sorceress in this color scheme. It was just, when were we going to get it? What was going to be included? All that kind of stuff. I think that they did a great job. I love everything about it. I think that even the original figure that we got here is a great additional accessory. Granted, I don't really have a purpose for it now, but for a Masters fan, the Sorceress is a must-have character for your display. And as I was talking about, this wave seems very, very easy to find. Just about every time that I'm going into a Target right now, I see the entire wave. To be honest, the Sorceress is probably the most desired figure in the wave. As I said, I don't really have any interest in Jitsu or even that Stratos. So if you are looking for her, she should be relatively easy to find. And if you are looking for her, good luck and happy hunting. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins Sorceress. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.